Watch your world, here they come. The sexiest, sassiest ladies you'll lay eyes on. We're cooking good. Pull up a chair with the Cola sisters. Why don't you let down your hair? Cooking good, ain't it fun? Got a teaspoon of advice for your cup of problem. Cooking good, let's have a drink while Arcee's cooking chefs tells you what she thinks. There are many ways to heaven. One road leads through Austin, and the Cola sisters are cooking up something awesome. Come see, y'all.
You know, I ought to go pee before we start this whole thing.
What I'm going to do in my free time, not my work time, I'm going to figure out who all the people are who are responsible for that whole economic depression thing that we're having. And I'm going to do a little liberating of their assets, so to speak. I guess then I have to sort of do the planning part about where I find them. I don't think they like hang out the same places I hang out. So I'm going to have to hunt them down and identify them, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe mark them in some way. Because I mean, I'll have to show that I did the coup, you know. Like the Indians would have like scalps. Well, I have to show my scalp or I don't get paid.
Are we rolling?
Are we going to do, are we going to do shots?
Yeah, I guess we should. Do you want to do a shot of tequila?
Oh, I can't.
Okay, well, we can do
I can't. That is... It's kind of like my chocolate banana. I can't go there. Can't do it. And I don't want to fake it because
Right.
I think that that's not being true to myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I fake drinking on television.
This is a ritual.
It is. And you can't fuck with the ritual.
All right, well,
What were we supposed to talk about? NASA. NASA, oh, what NASA's doing. NASA's been working on shake and bake.
oh, shake and bake.
So we got to talk about the
We
shake
gotta talk
and bake.
about the shake and bake.
Where did it come out in the
Okay, so
newspaper?
it came out, first out, a few weeks ago, I guess, but recently, that they've got this new problem with the drug laws. You know, now you can't buy your fucking Sudafed unless you show your
Any kind of
ID.
medicine.
So that's supposedly because people was making methamphetamine with it. That was bullshit, of course, but they use that as a way to introduce this new thing. And I think the man's agenda here is to get y'all to go out and do this. So that, of course, means you should absolutely not do it because it's just a trap.
It's just a road to ruin.
Right. So anyway, it's this method to do meth that doesn't require a lab, and it's called shake and bake. And apparently, you can do this in some kind of plastic bottle, like a Coke bottle, and just using stuff you got around your house, you can make methamphetamine. And, you know, we was talking about this, saying, you know, why would the man put out this long article about how you can fucking make it, practically give you the recipe, and tell you to go out and do it.
It's a how-to.
It's a how-to. So he's telling you, go out and make this methamphetamine so I can come catch you doing it.
Right.
And
You poison
get
your
you
children.
first of all, it makes you sick and crazy and ruins your health and
you
ruins
get
your life.
hooked on it.
And if he catches you with it in any way, he's going to put you into his prison slave system.
And then take away your kids.
Yeah, and put them into the monarch slave system. So,
Yep.
you know, it's a trap. Don't go there.
No, if you're going to have kids, you don't want them to be sex slaves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, might as well eat them if you are going to do that.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
they're
you
going to
know.
get chewed up eventually.
Eventually.
Just ask Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
Who is, as a lot of people on the internet have been pointing out, he is still a big story in the news, even though he's been dead for a long time now.
Our
Wink,
traditional
wink.
shot. Michael's over there in the corner. He's always with us. He's kind of
always
like the Lord.
with us. He is like the Lord.
And Dolly Parton.
There's not as many of them, of course.
To a good show. Cheers. Woo! 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 All right. Where's that squeezy doohickey thing? That squeezy doohickey thing. Is it over there with the liquor? I need that. Because I am going to make a margarita. And cameraman has been kind enough to share his recipe for margarita on the rocks.
Well, that's
Which
nice
I
of
will
him.
do for y'all on the TV.
Well, that's a nice thing to do.
Because that's what we do here on
We
Cooking
share.
Good.
We share.
Yeah, yeah. So, in case y'all are wondering what the fuck is going on, I'm RC Cola, and there's Shasta Cola, my sister.
I'm Shasta.
And we're in Austin, Texas in 2009 doing a cooking show on public access television. And you are watching it probably on public access in Austin, Texas. So,
Or maybe on the internet.
yeah, maybe on the internet. So in case you're wondering, that's what we're doing and where we are. And this is a cooking show.
Say who you are again. real quick.
I'm RC Cola. It's ARCIECOLA.
And Shasta Cola.
Yeah, like the soft drinks. But we're real people. I mean, we're here, right? We're making margaritas. Soft drinks don't make margaritas. Soft drinks are soft. That's why they call them soft drinks. Okay, so what is your recipe? First of all, how do we do this?
1 lime. Juice of 1 lime per margarita.
Okay, how many am I making? Who's having a margarita?
Me.
3? Okay. All right, so 3
I'll give you
margaritas.
some of mine.
No, it's fine. I can make 3. I got enough. I mean, do we put
I
ice
don't
in
need
here?
a big one.
Do we do ice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fill that thing with ice.
We'll do ice. All right.
Now, what if in the future we don't have any ice? Can you use like,
Well, there won't be if they don't have no electricity down here, because if we don't got refrigeration, we ain't got no fucking ice.
They have to start shipping it in from Bear Lakes again.
Yeah, but I don't think
Wow.
it'll last in this heat.
That's what they used to do.
Well,
That's why one of the reasons the railroads were invented.
really? To
Yeah.
move the ice?
Move ice around the
Damn.
country.
I thought it was to move
They
like.
sawed it out of the lakes and they put it in sawdust and they put it in train cars and shipped it everywhere.
Wow.
Damn.
All right, so the juice of one, these limes are a little past their prime, but they'll be just fine for what we're gonna do. So, the juice of 3 limes. This thing is handy. Ah! Fuck.
You know, you can build an ice house here in Texas. Too.
What? No, you can't.
Yeah.
You lie.
How do you,
Tell me
how
you're
would you
lying.
make that?
You make a building that's really insulated and with straw bale,
Yeah.
and then you fill it full of sawdust and ice.
Well,
And it just stays icy?
Well, yeah. It slowly melts over time.
I think I might have to get into the ice business. I hear it's one of those mafia.
it's probably
run
very
things.
lucrative
Yes.
because everybody needs ice. All the bars need ice.
But it's really a very liquid asset, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a very sort of ephemeral idea, a lot like money,
Right.
which is basically our drugs, illegal drug trade, and money laundering is the only thing.
Yeah.
keeping our whole
You know
economy
what else
going.
we was talking about earlier? You know, we talk about a lot of stuff before we start rolling the camera. So
But we're not allowed.
sometimes,
to,
well, some of it's like gossipy stuff that we can't
yes,
say
we
on
can't
TV.
talk about, and because of the new laws
Right.
that you can't say.
But some of it is just, you know, stuff we talk about just in passing, and it's
Right.
good stuff, and we forget to say it. But this one I do remember. We was talking about getting a college education, and
Yes, and
how
how-
it was a scam
Yes.
by the man to get you into debt. And he ran out of jobs to like reward you with for
Long
going through the
ago.
training a long time ago.
Like right after the.
But he kept
World
on
War II.
scamming you because he liked the money. So we
Oh,
got
yes.
all these people going to college and paying for the privilege and not being
and
able to find a job so they
that's
can
when-
pay it back.
That's when they came up with NASA.
Right,
Was the whole idea of NASA was just to give people jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I read that today.
right.
They ain't gone to the moon and whatever.
No.
This is probably what they've been working on down there in Houston. They've been working on the shake and bake.
Yeah, trying to get, figure out how they can
How
do
it works. And then they got so many like rappers down there in Houston
Mm-hmm.
that they probably put them rappers to like working in the think tank to come up with that clever name, shake and bake. I mean, that's really clever. And it really does make you think that you can do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Did you tell them that you can get all the ingredients
Yeah,
for this new meth
at
product
just
in your kitchen?
At the
grocery
store,
store.
at the HEB, whatever.
You don't have to have a hazardous materials license anymore.
No. Okay, so what do I do alcohol wise with this for 3?
The ratio is
Uh-huh.
1.5
So this,
ounces of tequila,
all right.
Ooh, I learned a fact.
1 ounce of liqueur, orange liqueur.
So this is 1.5 or what?
Yeah, so 1.5 of that.
Do you know where our weird,
You could've
like,
just done,
like,
if you're making 3,
Yeah.
you could do 4.5.
he's
So-
doing some high math there, that cameraman is. In his
2,
head, I did not see him use the calculator.
3,
He didn't even pull out his phone.
4.
You
Oh.
Oh, no.
That's okay, we got
We're
another
run
bottle.
The
out.
one on the bottom is 1. I realize it.
Oh, whoa. Okay, so I put in 3 of those.
I wasn't
So
counting.
how many was that?
4. It was 4.
So this is the
5.
1.5, right?
That's the 2.
Okay, but I wasn't filling them up to overflowing.
Okay.
So, okay, so we put in 3 of these.
So that would be 6, which is way more.
It wasn't, no, it was more like 1, and it was like 2/3 of that.
Yeah.
You filled that 2/3 of it.
Yeah,
Did the math on that
2/3.
from
So
memory.
2/3 times
Times 3. is that
3.
right? So
Yeah.
it's
2/3 of
right.
2. 2/3 of 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1 and a third.
Well, but there was 3.
1
I
and a
put in.
third of
I
3.
put in 3.
That's 4. That equals 4.
Yeah. So that's,
Can you do
need a
math
0.5.
quicker than me in my head?
So we need a 0.5.
we should have a
So
contest.
half of the small.
Do math quicker than cameraman.
How's that?
I don't do it very fast.
Well,
Is that good?
That gives them a chance.
All right, so how much of this?
Okay.
Do I cut back on this?
1 for each. So
One
what
for
you
each,
need
so
to do-
the little
Whoa, whoa,
one.
whoa.
What?
Fill up the big one all the way.
And then fill up one little one, right?
Yes.
See, I learned this. See, I went to public school. I know like geometrical shapes and shit.
And if you want to sweeten it, you need to add some agave nectar.
Which is over here.
This is where it gets
How
beyond
much?
me. It's too many steps.
Spot it. However much you
Too many steps, too many ingredients. Cola isn't going to do it.
There's not that many though. It's just limes and tequila and triple sec.
I can do 2 things in my head at one time. I cannot do like 5 or 6.
Okay, so I give this a nice
All right,
shake.
now careful with that. You need to really tighten it hard. 'cause
Yeah.
otherwise it's gonna spray all over you.
Oh no, I'm gonna do it over the sink.
Make sure
Okay, you
twist
ready?
it down hard, both of them. the
I
top and
did.
that. Too tough.
Sounds like you need maybe some donated equipment. somebody has a decent shaker.
No, this is the climax of the show.
Oh, okay.
Right here. This is the point in the show when we're gonna like shut up for a minute so y'all can whack off. Okay, you're probably done by now, and if you ain't, well, just turn
You
the
need to
volume
get
down.
one of those poles in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Dude, if y'all got one of those poles, we could be, you could be like, when we're not talking,
We
or
could
when
be
we're
like
not cooking,
you could actually be doing something useful during the show.
and you could do a whole workout thing around it. Like we could plan us a workout for
Oh, that would be good.
like Tony for the Tribulations, like 4 or 5 could
That
be
would be
with the
good.
pole, you know.
By the way, that is completely done.
It's
Oh
done.
yeah, I know. People have been doing that.
Yay!
Toning is completely done.
Oh,
It's
fucking
finished.
A! Now we're gonna have our own workout video that people is gonna have to tune into and find and seek out. It's out there. Cameraman says it's out there. It exists.
He says that he has finished it. So y'all are witnesses to this momentous occasion that has taken so long to come to
It
fruition.
is as if something's birthed. Like
Yes.
there's like an elephant.
There was like
An
a
elephant has been
gestation
birthed.
period that was beyond
of a very large mammal.
almost
Like a
elephant
whale.
time.
It is.
Like
It
the 2-year gestation
It
of
is.
an elephant.
It's like
Finally.
from another planet that has less gravity, you know. Which is, I'm sorry, that explains why I have such a large ass, I think. It's because on my home planet, in my, like where my people come from, this includes a lot of colas, not necessarily RC, but a lot of colas. Our large ass comes from the fact that on our home planet, there is not as much gravity.
I was thinking you could use that.
Well, maybe I got it wrong.
Because if you have to carry more weight, your ass gets bigger. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you get more of a workout.
I don't
But
know.
the ass is big whether you work out or not.
Right.
So
it is the gluteus maximus for
It
a
is.
reason.
It has.
Maximus.
It has mass.
Maximus.
It has mass.
My
It's
glutes
not just
have
fat.
mass.
There is
My
like
glutes have
sinews
mass.
and totally like muscle, flaccid muscle maybe, but there's stuff in there. It's, I mean, that you could probably live for like 2 years on that fat right there. But you know, I've long thought, you know, that I've become like psychic and I can read scientists' minds and
That's
stuff.
another reason why the man, sorry to interrupt,
No.
doesn't want you to, he wants you to have the meth, because then you don't gain weight, so you can't survive.
Yes. Yes, you
See?
can't keep your nutrients.
No,
That
and
shit
you
is
lose your teeth,
poison.
too.
It is it's like huffing. It's bad.
Here you go, cameraman.
I mean, I'm all for like experimenting with different
Shasta.
realities, but I cannot, it's my little PSA, I cannot see doing something that it dissolves your teeth.
Right. You need your teeth to eat.
Yes, and how are you going to survive for 700 years on your, you know, teeth that came
How is
in?
that?
Pretty good.
I think it's tasty.
That's good.
Mm.
Cameraman, that's good.
Thank you.
It's a good recipe for margarita on the rocks. It's almost like drinking lemonade.
You know what I like about it?
Mm.
There's something that gives me indigestion, like heartburn.
Uh-huh.
It's one of the few things that gives me heartburn anymore. But it's when they use that freaky mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can't use the mix. You got to use the real
They
deal.
put it together with like chemicals.
Yeah, and
It's-
like corn syrup and shit.
There's something. It's that's
They
what
use,
gives
like,
me.
citric acid as opposed to
Oh.
actual lemon juice.
Yes, and that is what gives me the indigestion.
This has lots of vitamin C in it. You ought to be drinking the real thing when you make your margaritas. And limes are cheap because we
And-
live close to Mexico.
We really have to consume a lot of vitamin C.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to keep you from dying.
Vitamin C
of
and
the
vitamin
swine flu.
D. Vitamin D is sunshine.
Yes.
Get out in the sun. If you're dark skinned, you got to be out in the sun twice as long.
No, I read
10
something
times more.
6 to 10 times.
Oh my Lord! So if you
you're
better
black.
get a job doing manual labor.
If you're black, you need to
and
be
not
outside.
wear your shirt.
Do not.
You were meant to be on the equator. If you were
Yeah.
Yes, and for white people, we probably have a deficiency in processing our vitamin D, so we need more than you'd think for being so white.
Right. So you got to be outside like
Like, be naked.
20, 30 minutes
naked.
every day in the bright sun.
That's
Out
why.
on your front porch stage.
Yeah, because
Naked.
you need to get your
the
vitamin
sun.
D, and the best way to get something is to make it yourself.
Yes,
Hello.
and
that is
that-
the number one rule of the
You
universe.
can't just take the pills, it just doesn't
no,
work.
you just shit it out.
Yeah,
You
it
just shit it on
it
out.
doesn't absorb into your, like, being.
No.
Like,
no.
the sun will
Oh.
give it to you.
Speaking of absorbing into the being, I'm hungry. What should we eat?
Well, there's some big red fruit thing right there.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, there's some peaches. We should try this because this is good. You know, I do a cooking show and I cook recipes all the time and I try to be inspired, but today I just
This
wasn't
is
inspired except to make a margarita. Some days you just feel inspired by a margarita. And now that I've done that, we got a whole another, what, 40, 45 minutes to fill?
36.
Okay. So we got to fill time.
But, you know, lots of shit has gone down in the last month that we
Right.
can talk
Oh, we can
about.
totally talk about a lot of stuff. But like for the cooking portion of the show, I think I'm just gonna like see what we got around to eat, and maybe
There's-
I can make something real quick. With
There's a
some
lot of
pasta or
scabs
something.
on my arm.
Oh yeah. Well, Shasta, those are private. I think you should just keep them to yourself.
There's nothing wrong with eating someone else's scabs.
You just can't eat your own scabs
I
and
think-
like get nutrition out of it.
I think you can, and I think that this is how our forefathers survived many
Oh,
a hard
they
winter.
did not.
They ate their own scabs, and I think they drank their own blood. Because if you can't get your vitamin C in any other way, as cameraman pointed out, raw like beef or something will give you vitamin C in the blood.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why can't you just drink your own blood?
Peach cameraman.
Ooh, that's good.
This also has some kind of vitamins in it. It's all bruised up, but it's edible.
I think that people should go outside a lot more than they do.
Uh-huh.
Wear as little clothes as possible.
Frolic naked
In the sunshine.
in the sunshine.
Here it's very hot.
Yeah. So the less clothes you have on, the better you feel. Let me tell you, I have been outside butt-ass naked in the hottest part of the summer more times than I can count. And every time I think, good Lord, this is how we're supposed to be.
It is.
You know, and if it weren't
It's
for
the
the fact
only
that I'm
way.
a pasty white European woman and got moles and the leopard syndrome and, you know, prone to the skin cancer,
Oh, I found a new one.
I would be like
Darier's
out there
disease.
naked all the time.
Yeah, me too. If it wasn't like I'd get thrown in the jail, I would be butt naked walking down the street.
No pink, no clink.
Right, no
Right.
pink, no clink, but you gotta
But-
like go to jail first.
Right, it's a big
It's
hassle.
a hassle. It is a hassle to go to jail.
And
Good
I don't
Lord.
want to give it away for free to every, you know, hobo on the street who I'd like to give a shout out to my friend hobo who whacked himself off while I was going to see what should we call it? What was it? That
was it
funny
the Women on the
video.
Verge thing?
No, I think it was when we saw the Spinal Taps.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
We've done
so.
a couple of fun
We have
things.
been going out and about in the public.
Yeah.
We're becoming a little bit more famous in our town.
Like, people want to hang out with us.
We're kind of like local celebrities, which is probably way more than you are. So,
Right. Okay.
but
I think it's more than kind of like.
well, for most people. Unless, I mean, there's probably some really famous people watching our show right now. So we can't, like,
Shout out to famous people.
Oh, hi, famous people watching our show. We love you. And if you want to come on our show,
there's no way you're going to get on.
no, that's not true.
Like, we have Lady Gaga booked every night next week.
Did you read that article I sent you
Yes,
about her?
and that's the only reason she got mentioned in here is because she's actually making the news about just herself.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it. Don't buy it. Fake. My fake meter's going off. It's like whenever I see certain people, my fake meter goes off.
Right. Well, her music is so manufactured sounding. It doesn't actually sound like music.
It's not really music.
That most people would want to make or listen to.
Let's face it, it's like Madonna 2 centuries forward in time.
Right.
Can I offer up a much better alternative
Yes.
musically?
Yes.
A woman named Peaches.
Peaches.
Is she like related to this woman named Annie Mae that used to clean houses? Because I knew a woman named Peaches. I'm just like,
maybe the same.
Fuck. Sorry.
Peaches.
She sings a lot about sex.
Is that all she sings about? Well, that's all most people sing about is sex. Sex in coded terms, anyway.
There's nothing coded about her.
Oh, okay. Well, good for her. So, I'm just going to throw some shit in a pan and make that. And if we get done making it before we end the show, well, great. If not,
Before
well,
time is up.
right. It's just, sometimes you come home from work and you're tired and you just don't feel like going to all these elaborate lengths to make something. And you just like throw some shit together that you already got. And that's what I'm going to do. And it just so happens that I have some pasta and some vegetables, which of the vegetables I chose some portobello mushrooms. I get these at work. Here's a secret. I get these at work if they're broken because we serve portobello mushroom sandwich that requires that the whole thing be whole. So if they're broken, they're just like throw them out. But I take the ones that I can get, and I just bring them home and eat them myself. That's a tip. If you work in any kind of service industry, see what you can get for free. There's a whole lot of stuff that the man just throws out that you can get for free.
I think in another place and time that's called dumpster diving.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with dumpster diving.
They do that in California.
That's how they live in India, honey, let me tell you. Like, everybody there's a dumpster diver.
Well, not everybody.
Well,
not
most
the upper 1%.
Well, but, that's true of every country.
Well, that's another thing that is happening in the United States. It's like they say the wealth disparity. Mm-hmm. So, like, now there's no more middle class. It's all colas.
Yeah.
Like,
right,
we're
it's all
totally
people like us.
It's all, everyone,
Even
welcome
those
to our
of y'all
world.
with college degrees. But y'all are worse off because y'all got hoodwinked. I bet
Fucking
I'm
A.
way better off in the eyes of the man than all y'all out there watching this show.
Well, yeah.
Because I don't have much debt to speak of because I ain't got no fucking credit.
And she wasn't suckered into
Yeah,
that scam.
I didn't have to go to college because I didn't have no means. And I didn't get all loaded down with student loans. And, the money troubles that I have had have been because of the man, because of his fines and fees and things that, whatever, he's going to get you somehow. But I have to say, overall, I have paid less to the man than all y'all.
Well, yeah, because he ain't never, owned a house.
Right, I ain't owned or a car that I didn't get secondhand.
Right,
and pay cash for.
You ain't never run for public office.
No.
You even run your own nonprofit.
When the man looks at you, he sees money. He sees how much money
Is
you
she
have
worth
potential
to me?
for. Right.
Yeah.
if you don't have any debts to the man, which means he spent resources on you that you have to owe him for,
Yes.
then you are much more attractive to him as a potential, like, bordello slave when it comes to it.
Well, I think everybody has their own value. I think this is something that the man is not estimated upon, is that he has valued people much more and much less than he thought. And so he sort of lumped everybody together because he relies on statistics way too much.
Right. Well, you know, because he didn't want to actually have to do the work himself.
Right. So he relies on his interns and such. But there are unknowables out there that he doesn't know. And they're usually have the last name of Cola.
Yeah.
And they are the kind of people who have supernatural strength, super fertility.
Yeah. Speaking of super, I've decided that I have the wisdom to divine the tarot.
Oh, read my tarot.
And I am going to cultivate this ability in myself because, you know,
You
when I
make
looked
money
into
off
it,
that.
honestly, the tarot is whatever the fuck you want it to be. Every single tarot author, scholar, teacher out there has said the same thing, as far as I can tell, according to the first, like, couple pages of Google. So,
It's true.
Right. So I am just going to make up my own fucking rules with the tarot. Of course, I'll bow to some tradition because it's easier to talk to people when they kind of have an idea of what you're talking about, you know. Because there's like lots of people out there that are familiar with the tarot and they may know like the Tower or Death or, you know, certain cards. So you got to kind of keep those archetypes in there. But it's for, like, how it means.
It's usually written on the card.
Right,
though.
it's just you.
You don't really have to memorize it.
Right, it's just like, you know.
And there's symbols in there that you can look at and remember.
Right, and it's not a cult. Y'all Christians out there that's
It's not
stalking.
like
There's
the
nothing occult
vegans.
about it. Like, when it started, it was just a fun card game.
Yeah.
And then,
like dominoes.
it didn't start to get occult connotations till Aleister Crowley and the Golden Dawn and all them people in the Victorian age co-opted it and turned it into something occult.
That really, if you think about it, that was one of the first, like, kinds of a propaganda
Right, it was
that
an
the
op.
man,
It was an op.
yes, the man played on us.
Right. So, you know, I just decided to make up my own tarot because I do think that there's a certain amount of divine inspiration that we all have access to.
Yes,
That occasionally requires
Yes.
more direct means to acquire. So, like, if you focus your energy on something and think about it, it gives you time to work through a lot of stuff that's in your head.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a
therapy.
counseling session without paying somebody.
Right.
Unless you go to a fortune teller, which means that you got to pay somebody. But, you know, what's it worth to you?
It's probably getting closer to your psyche than any therapist would.
Right, right. Because you intuit your own meaning on there.
Yes, and you have some kind of, like, special skill.
Yeah.
You know,
Because you
'cause-
just, who knows you better than you? Nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody. Yeah. So I decided I'm going to start, like, reading the tarot.
Oh,
and
wait,
maybe
read
I'll
my
make a living
tarot.
out of it. Okay.
Well, you know, I think I've always wanted to be a fortune teller. But I just really
I
never.
think you should be, Shasta.
I never got my. You know, I need to get the outfit together.
Well, no,
Because I
there's
think
no.
they wear a lot of jewelry in their hair.
You don't need an outfit to
Well, that's the main
be a
part of it.
fortune teller.
And I know how I want to design my tent.
Mm-hmm.
I think you do need a turban.
Yes. But just a little sort of an indication of one, you know, with scarves. And I want to wear like a veil. Because
Okay.
I want to have like a different name, like Madame Shasta.
Here, let me
Something
move.
like that,
Let's
you know.
move the table out a little.
Oh, my drink.
Be careful. Here, cameraman, take these out of the room real quick. Because we need room. Okay, let me set this up so I actually have it ready to go. It's time.
So you're going to read my tarot.
What?
Are you going to read my tarot?
I am going to read your tarot.
I love it. It makes me nervous, though, because I think that we're all afraid of the future because we know how shitty it's going to be.
Well, no, the future is what you make of it. It's unknowable, so you might as well just think it's going to be good.
Just surrender to it.
So instead of like going out and buying somebody's
They're
predestined like tarot
They're
deck,
expensive.
I just got some cards at the dollar store and wrote on them what they're supposed to be.
Well,
Because
that's
it works
smart.
the same.
You know what? You could design some. Maybe.
That's what I was thinking, you know, like after I got good
your
at
own
it and kind of had a
drawings and
feeling
stuff.
for what I thought about each card, I would just make my own tarot deck and use that because that's more powerful than anything.
Oh, if you
Whatever
personalize
you like,
it.
personalize. Yeah. So, but for the meantime, while I'm an estudiante for all our Spanish-speaking people out there, hi,
We have a lot of fans.
a lot of fans.
in the Hispanica community.
Yeah, so while I'm a student, I'm going to actually just use the dollar store cards and make it easy on myself.
It's just me.
Right, and that way I can take them with me and not feel like it's like going to get messed up or ruined or unconsecrated or whatever.
That
So,
new age shit is another like program the man
yeah,
sells.
all that stuff's a program. All that
He's
pagan
the one that
stuff.
publishes all that expensive
Oh
pagan
yeah,
shit.
all that.
And that's like belonging to a club or playing golf or something. It's a huge money commitment.
Okay, so what I'm going to do for you right now is just a simple 3-card spread.
Ooh,
Because we don't have a lot of room.
sounds exciting.
And the spread is going to be, I'll let you choose. It could either be about a situation or a relationship.
A relationship.
Okay.
I bet everybody picks that.
Yeah, that's a popular one. So here's what
I think that's worth $20.
this simple reading will do.
This is probably worth $20.
The first card that I put down is going to be you.
Me. Okay.
The second card that I put down is going to be the dynamic. The third card that I put down is going to be the person that you're thinking about in the relationship.
I'm thinking about him.
Okay, so anyway, so basically you look at the outer cards and you see what the people involved are thinking.
This is so exciting.
And you look at the middle card and you see how their interaction should go. If, you know,
if everything works out okay.
right, what you should strive for.
I'm so excited.
Like what's going on with that?
$20 value.
Yeah, so, all right, so I have
And
shuffled.
You get to find out like your true heart love.
Yeah, because that's exactly what you want to know.
That's the only
And
thing.
you're going to project that onto the cards. That's what the whole thing's about.
Yeah.
So, Shasta, why don't you hold these for a second and think about your relationship. Just think about it. And whenever you're done thinking about it, put the cards down on the block. Okay. And pick up a portion of the cards and set it down to your right. Set it down. Yeah, it's like you're cutting the deck, like in poker. And put the second part on top of the first. You can look at it. It's okay.
I'm thinking really hard.
Okay, all right, all right. Well, you get all the cards. Good, good. Okay. Oh. All right, all right. You ready?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. This is you. Now, this is oriented, come around my way. This is going to be oriented toward me because we will like count reversals in this. All right, this is some fresh pasta. I'm just going to toss that in here and let that boil up for a couple minutes.
I'm praying on it.
Okay, all right. Hang on just a second. How are we doing on time?
18.
Oh, good. Move. All right, you ready? You
Yes.
ready?
Yes.
Okay, so this is you. This is the
Woo!
dynamic.
Woo!
And this
Woo!
is the other.
Woo! I'm liking.
Here, I'm gonna turn it around this way so that cameraman,
It's all red.
all y'all can see. Well, that has nothing to do with it, because I just made these playing cards.
Oh.
Like there's nothing
But
special.
it looks good.
I just used
good.
whatever cards was there to like write on. Sorry, it's
No.
not.
I think it looks good.
Okay, so if you're like familiar with the tarot deck, then you might understand these cards. They are all major arcana cards, but I must warn you that I have in my tarot decision decided that I'm
your
going to
deck.
use only major arcana cards in my readings, plus
Oh, okay.
the ace of each suit. Now, there's 78 cards in the tarot. And in those, there's different suits like you would have in regular playing card deck, like if you're playing poker. And those have kings, queens, knights, and pages, plus the ace through the 10. And all those different things have meanings, according to some people. Right. And then there's the major arcana, which is different cards, 22 different cards, that have different allegorical meanings based on the character that's portrayed in the card. And I decided that I did not need to represent all the numbers and kings and queens and such in the suits, because those meanings are arbitrarily decided. There's like no historical backing and nobody agrees on them.
So you can just make it what you want.
Right, so you can just make up what you want, but like that's a lot of extra cards to think about, so I just said, fuck it. I just know the general idea that each suit represents, and that's all you need to know.
I mean, it doesn't need to be like.
Right, the more general it is, the better.
Is the Russian
Actually.
always tells me there's only 64 different ways it can go.
You're right. So, let me test this real quick, make sure it's done.
I'm excited that I'm the Chariot, the Tower of Injustice.
But you're inverted.
Oh. Well, that makes sense, too, because
Right.
I'm a woman. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. This is like, you know that I was doing like a Bible thing? Like, this is another Bible verse. Shasta interprets the Bible.
Yeah.
Oh, in the beginning there was, light or whatever, and then like there's the firmament and it divides. Well, that is, and I think I didn't come up with this idea, but I think this is the interpretation that's correct.
Right.
Is that in the
Why is this
beginning,
bowl here?
everything was together, and there was only
Wow.
one thing,
Limes.
and then it became two things. Once it realized there was an outside to it. And so that's how come the freaking Illuminati have this obsession with twins, is because number one is truth, and
move.
two is truth and falsehood. So that's kind of the motto that they live by, is that
Right.
well, we can get what we want through telling a bunch of lies, Whereas like colas, we're more like one thing.
Yeah.
We're like, all we understand is the truth, whatever it is.
Because that's what's always staring us in the face every
Right.
fucking day. I mean, you might try to escape it by doing a little shake and bake on the side, but really, you're just going to be
It
faced with the
catches up
fucking
with
truth.
you. Reality,
Right.
basically.
Okay, so I'm going to be just like kind of cleaning some gills off some portobello
What is
mushrooms. It's the gills. It's just they make them
Is
kind
that
of
how
pretty.
they breathe?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember my mushroomology
I don't
or
know much about
what's the word?
Fungi.
Myconology,
Oh.
whatever the fuck. But I mean, that one's nice. It could have almost been a sandwich.
Now, when I first did mushrooms, they weren't the little mushrooms now when you have the psychedelic mushrooms. It was a big fucking mushroom.
What? You did not.
It did. And I ate like, it was a whole mushroom. And I ate like this much of it. It was dried and really waxy. Really
Why
like.
did you eat it?
Well, I'd never never had mushrooms. I thought everyone eats mushrooms. The Indians eat mushrooms.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that they look like those little psilocybin mushrooms.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's
It's
different
like a
kinds.
portobello mushroom.
There's different kinds
But
of
I
mushrooms.
tripped balls, man.
I bet you did.
I mean, it was something else. So obviously it wasn't. But damned if it wasn't a portobello mushroom.
Well, you know, the power of suggestion is what the man counts on with all his propaganda. I mean, I'm not saying you didn't have no powerful mushroom. You could probably...
There's the flag, Eric. If you don't eat too much of it, you'll trip balls too. And it's about that big.
Maybe that's the one.
It'd have white
This was,
spots
I
and
mean,
yellow
I
spots.
actually tripped like the color spectrum was shifted even up to 6 hours later.
So you just like...
Especially when the coming down was very, very beautiful. The whole I am God. I had that whole trip of that. But at the beginning it was very much like I am not in control of my physical body.
Right.
But I'm still a source, or I can still take in stimuli.
Yeah.
But I've tried to go to the restroom, and it was like Ulysses, you know, the Odyssey. And I remember just weeping in the bathroom because I had made it. And then my friend was like knocking, going, Shasta! Shasta! Are you okay in there? And I was like,
yes, I'm great.
I'm fine.
Well, speaking of, I got to take a whiz real quick. Do we got time for me to do that? Okay.
I wonder if you believe in it, if it would give me that kind of response, you know. Maybe it is just suggestion.
I'll be right back. That's the thing about tequila. It always runs right through me. I have always got to pee right after. Plus, I had that coffee earlier. Hey, how do I turn this thing off so y'all don't listen to me tinkle?
There's a mute button.
It says mood on the top.
Mute.
Yes. I think I would recognize him anywhere. He's really tall, like you. I wonder how many face transplants are going to be done in the next year or so. I bet a bunch. I bet there's a bunch. In fact, I would hate to be a young, upcoming actor right now in Hollywood. Or,
Just your face.
yes, yeah, some young model. Of course, the thing is, they really don't have it perfected, but it's good enough. It's good enough. Especially if you're really old and haggard like Rupert Murdoch, you know, the big jowly. Of course, that person that you see, that is actually a young man who has had Rupert Murdoch's old face put on his. I mean, that's why he looks so naturally like young in his arms and why he rolls up. It's like a 35-year-old man. And he's got a new face. It's not that man's face. It's like another man. So he kind of did one of those three-way kidney transplant things where, you know, this guy got this guy's face. But then this guy got this guy's face. And then one guy, he was left without a face. And there was one face left without a guy. But they just put that one in the medical waste compartment. I'm sure that happens in China a lot. I'm sure they're like, well, we harvested most of their organs, but
Okay, I'm back. Okay, so we need to do your reading while I'm chopping these
yes,
up. Okay, so
can't wait to find out.
So
This has been preying on my mind for months,
okay, all right.
if not years.
Wait, I gotta get some olive oil. I have a stash up here, a brand new bottle. Oh no, it's like a cork. I have to open it. Good Lord.
There's a little thing on the side.
I know time's a wasting.
Thing on the side.
There's a thing on the top too. Oh no, it is a thing on the side that's better. Okay, so Throw that away. Oh no, it feels like it's leaking. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that milk's leaking.
What milk?
Milk in the fridge.
Oh shit. Well, that's fun.
That's nasty.
Yeah. All right.
Stinky old milk.
Okay, let's read your card, Shasta.
Yeah, I want to know.
So you are the Chariot upside down, which means that perhaps the energy of this card is blocked, or you embody the more negative parts of this card.
I could see that.
And this
see
card
that.
means achievement, triumph, pride, ultimate victory. Imagine yourself as being her.
Yeah.
Running through the race, like you
Yeah.
are that winning chariot. How
Yeah.
exhilarating that feels, and how all that is.
Oh, yeah.
Like that is what you are at this moment. All the good things about that, and all the bad things, like overdone ego and thinking you're better than everybody else, and like the possibility that you could fall out of the chariot and get run over by a horse.
Being half naked with
Yeah.
my wing hanging out.
Yeah, yeah. So that is you
Being so good looking.
in this relationship, right?
I see it. I see it.
You're on
I
top
see
of the
it, I see
world,
it.
but
Oh,
you
yeah.
have the potential to be a total asshole.
Yes! That's
Yeah.
totally me.
All right. So, oh, smoking. Let me turn that down. So, the other person you're thinking about in this relationship is
Yes.
Justice. And Justice is a card with a lot of feminine energy, because they always portray Justice as a woman for some reason.
I see this. I see this.
Justice
In a
means
way.
equilibrium, weigh-in between two actions, careful consideration. So this person
Yeah.
is more cautious, but they are doing so
This is
in the
true.
best interest of themselves, pretty much.
That's what
You know.
usually it is. That's what usually happens with me.
Right. So Justice is there, and that's in the upright
That is not
position. So
sounding
that's
promising.
like the pure energy of this other person. They're judging you. They're Justice.
Yes, they're
weighing
judging me.
you.
And maybe they shouldn't be
They're
judging.
weighing you against something else.
Yeah.
Some other standard, some other thing.
Probably what they're used to.
Okay, and so the middle
This
card
is a famous person, by the way.
is the Tower. And the Tower is, I'm just going to throw in a touch of balsamic vinegar,
Wow.
just to give it a little taste, a little tartness, and then a little bit more olive oil. So the Tower means catastrophic change. Something that's been carefully built up that crumbles in a sudden moment.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can fall from this. But it also means like a sudden inspiration, being thunderstruck, like something is so calamitous that it tears down your perceptions of the world.
Or that, like, they might, like, come down to my level. Like,
Yeah, they might fall from their lofty position.
yeah, like,
but
destiny may thrust them downward to me.
yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted the cards to say for you.
Right. So that's your reading, Shasta,
I
for
love
you.
it.
in
Sounds
your-
like a real possibility. It's pretty much better than I thought.
Uh-huh. That's the thing, you can make it whatever you want it to be.
And I'm pretty happy with the reading. I think that was worth $20.
Well, you didn't pay me.
Right, but I mean, if you were like, if someone were to pay,
Right.
they would maybe pay $20.
Maybe. I could probably get away with charging $20 once I got my own cards made and they look good and
Right, and like,
professional, and I had a special
you were
outfit.
dressed up,
Right.
and you had a little
It's all
tent.
about appearances.
It's the whole package.
You got to make people think you got credentials. Oh, maybe I could get one of them fake credential
Yes.
things, like make up my own certificate.
Yes.
From the American Tarot Association or whatever.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is such a place and they do offer certification. I'm not saying that I would like try to rip you off, but
It's like ITT Tech.
right, I would just basically make up some kind of thing and put up like a degree on the wall so that people felt like they were getting their money's worth, you know, because the man likes that higher education scam to be repeated for everybody.
Because then he knows he's got someone hooked.
Right.
Really,
it's all about paying the man money for supposed training that you're going to need in the real world. But, you know, like I was saying, every
it's
job
not
that
a real world.
I've ever had, they fucking have to train you
Yeah.
whenever you, like,
And you don't get to,
there.
like, use your mind or
no,
anything.
you just do what they tell you. So it's not like, you know, you're missing out if you don't go to these schools or go to college.
I mean, you are missing out on, like, a lot of good parties. And
Right,
stuff.
but you're paying for it. Like, you'll be paying for it the rest of your life.
And you make, like, friends and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess if you can call them friends, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to chop up a little garlic and throw that in there with the mushrooms and then throw the pasta in with that and mix it up and maybe put a little cheese on top. That's dinner. That's how easy it is. And you know what? I bet if you was eating that in a gourmet restaurant, they would charge you a fortune for it.
Oh, yeah.
Of course they would. Of course they
But,
would.
you know, it's not like people are going to be going to restaurants anymore.
No, there's not going to be any restaurants.
It's going to be like Granny said, or Great Granny,
Mm-hmm.
or Great Great Granny, depending on how old you are.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be at the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Tell them, Shasta.
colasisters@gmail.com.
Yes, that's the best way.
Or Shastack, SHASTAC @gmail.com.
Or
Or
MySpace.
MySpace, Shastack. Or MySpace, Arcicola, ARCIECOLA.
I'm so proud of her. She knows how
Or
to spell my name.
I've watched the show a lot of times.
Mhm.
Or Camera Cola.
Yeah.
And then they've all got Facebook pages, but I don't yet.
Right.
But I will next week.
And then 512-782-HEAT, HEAT, if you want to leave us a voicemail. We love to
We
get those.
love those.
We listen to them before every show, and it really props us up because y'all love us so much.
It gives us our way. It helps as part of the ritual.
It makes us feel better.
I really feel like God is entering into me during those phone
If you want to
messages.
send something in the mail, send it to P.O. Box 302-102, Austin, Texas 78703. And YouTube, that's a big one because we're going to do more stuff on there. We promise as soon as cameraman gets around to it. YouTube.com/cameracola.
You can watch it at work.
And that's spelled just the way you think it would be. And this has been cooking good. Thank y'all for tuning in to Public Access in Austin, Texas, and watching the Cola Sisters whip up some food just
And drinks.
on a whim. Yeah, what you would do at any time during your evening on a regular work day after you slaved away from the man. Just what you would do for yourself. Something that easy.
If you like had a family or anyone who cared about you.
Yeah, I'm probably going to put salt and pepper in here and maybe a little cheese. I got some good cheese from, where is it from? It's from my roommate, actually, but it says here it's from, well, I don't know.
That cheese looks like glue.
Maybe like